Well, I'm very pleased to be showcasing Veronica Krestow's video. Uh, it's amazing. I'm astounded. I've been trying to edit and process this for a couple hours now, and it's just too so thick and rich. And the reason why I'm showcasing other people is because, as I've said a few times, that language lessons of the heart is a very powerful and intense form of healing. It's a modality, it's a process work, but it's not for everybody. And so actually showing other people who have done similar work, who've done similar things, and gotten similar results. And boy, Veronica's off the charts here because every point or process that I use, she's used naturally. She's found naturally herself and uses them to heal and transform herself and get some very powerful results. And she's kept track of that process, and that's what her book is based on. I'm assuming. So, language lessons art is based on a premise that we have four parts of ourselves: a spirit, heart, will, and body. Thought and feeling, heart, body. And that who we are these four parts. And the interaction between our thoughts and feelings, it makes up the quality of life. That's the whole play of life. That's the drama of life. And what is loving and what is not loving is going on in there causes depression, anxiety, upsetness, bad self-image, stinking thinking about, and toxic thoughts. And how to awaken that compassion to take care of those kind of things. That's really the whole thing in the nut, and do it all with love. So when I say we are multidimensional beings, it's these dimensions of thought and feeling and being conscious and unconscious, and so there's realms of awareness that we have. Those are dimensions. And then I say we're polyphrenic. That is, we have these four parts, and then we have these other things that are going on that also appear to be personality. They're beingness. So we have our four primary beings that we are, and then these thought beings, thought forms, ideas of self and ideas of the way to live a life and who to be and what to be. But we're also unstuck in time. So what happened in the past is still happening. And what happens in the past and now is going to happen in the future. So we're unstuck in time. This whole thing is not just, you're not just today. And then there's this other little thing I say, that there's a shake of infinity. We're infinite beings. And she brings this out very clearly, that there is this infinite nature to human beings. And how to process that pain. So I can't actually go by what she does that is different than me is that this is like whatever it is, it's like 14 or so minutes, 15 minutes of her video, and her understanding her message is so condensed that it's like this is like a 3-day seminar. She covers emotional healing. She covers talking to the parts of herself. She talks about becoming empowered and finding compassion, and all really quick. So you have to listen closely to what she's actually saying, because it's so condensed and so eloquent and precise. And we just are not geared to thinking how what somebody says affects their emotions, and what somebody says affects their life, and if you do this, that's going to happen. We don't think like that. We just take it all as like a nice story. But it's not a nice story. It's a profound teaching on how to heal yourself, how to heal what is your thoughts and what is your feelings, and how to feel it all to heal it all. And what kind of dedication to spend a whole year or 2 years. That's a strong intent to heal. So the 4 things that I teach are an empowerment. I'm empowering myself with a strong and loving intent to heal my will. This is how to train the mind to put compassion into the parts that are hurt. Then I also teach a judgment and denial release. This is like finding the parts of yourself, the thought forms that are not you, and letting them go out and transform and come back in as to a team instead of an opponent. They become a team, a helpers, a benefactors. And then there's emotional release. And emotional release, it cannot be understated. You have to go into the pain to heal the pain. You have to feel it to heal it. And if you're going to feel, you have to feel your pain in order, you have to face it. You have to face your pain, acknowledge it, face it, accept it, and let that go through you. You have to face your pain to face your gain. And there is gain. Wherever you have pain is where you're missing gain. There's love underneath there. There's wisdom and compassion. So you have to face your pain to be able to face your gain. We want the gain. Oh, I want the good stuff. But you can't just steal that. It's underneath what has been hurt. That's where the gain is. That's where the infinity is. That's where the love is. That's where the compassion is. So I've tried to put some of my text over to point out some things, and frankly, I just got too overwhelmed because it's too rich and thick of meaning of what she says. So it's worth listening to this a few times. And if this is this 15 minutes of her talking is any indication of what her book is, she's on the right track. And very few people are on the right track of what it takes to heal somebody and to really transform somebody in love, so that the results that you get is more compassion, more self-acceptance, more stability, and more congruent, and more authentic. You're not that fake person running away from your pain all the time. And she's just fantastic. People experience pain and anxiety and run away from it. It's just natural to run away from it. But if they only knew how much gain was tied up in that pain, they'd turn around and embrace it, let whatever it is consume them, and open up their heart until all of that suffering and all of that depression or anxiety can fit within the embrace of your own personal compassion. That's kind of the inner game. So you'll see my text is all in yellow. But that's definitely, like I said, one shoe does not fit every foot. And what Veronica has here is a very nice principles to heal. Definitely worth checking out. I forgot a big part of the mix here that I'm going to add on now, and that is there's this process that I teach called talking to the parts of selves. So you can talk to your heart, talk to your will, talk to your body. And whenever you talk to or let an emotion talk through you, or you talk to embrace the emotion itself, so there's a two-way dialogue. I'm going to take care of you. You say whatever you want to say, express whatever you want to express. And I'm going to be here for you. That's you talking to your emotional body, or you talking to your pain, or you talking to your suffering, and allowing that to come up and say, I'm hurting, and this is that, and then a whole description of why the depression started and what's wrong with it, and that becomes a judgment and denial, so you can release, and you can release it piece by piece by piece. So there's nothing else holding that depression in place, or that pain, or that rage, or anger, or terror. Nothing's holding that in place anymore. and expresses, and it's done. And it can be very, very quick for each event. But the whole process may take years because you're not going to find those little golden moments without seeking them. So talking to the parts of self, whenever you hear her talk about expressing from her feelings or talking to her feelings or to herself, this is a self-talk. So that's what language lessons of the heart is all about. How to talk, communicate, connect to your conscious mind, to your heart, to your will to your body, and allow them to communicate back to you. And this is love. This is concentrated self-love.
I'm back! It's Treasure Tuesdays! Welcome to another edition of Treasure Tuesdays. It is so good to be back, my friend. I am deeply, deeply inspired right now. Having a month break of making videos has been really essential. It's just opened up my heart, has fueled my system, has given me a little bit more space. I'm actually out here in a lot of space right now in Mendocino, California, creating a really exciting, powerful project that is sort of rocking my world and opening my heart. I'll share a bit about that soon. But for right now, I want to share with you a powerful story. You guys know that I used to live out here when I was going through a radical, painful time in my life. I left my whole life in LA behind and did some pretty powerful healing out here for a year and a half. And so now I'm back out here from a very different perspective. I'm creating, I'm healthy, I'm whole, I'm grateful, I'm just in myself and living in the present moment as much of the time as I can. And it just feels so good. So first, to start, if you're in a challenging place, please know that there is a light at the end of the tunnel and that there is a way through every single block, and you are the way. You are literally your own love, compassion, self-love, radical self-love, presence, self-care is the way. And I am a testament of that, and I've seen countless clients be testaments of that. So what I want to share with you is this memory I had, and I have a powerful treasure tool for you. If you are going through any kind of intense emotion that is very challenging for you, whether it is anxiety or depression or deep grief, first of all, remember that the only way through is through. And that's finally what knocked me over the head on my journey, and why I finally came out here years ago, is just to finally feel it all and heal it all so that I could live my life to the fullest and be on purpose. And what I want to share with you is that it takes courage, to actually free yourself and face what you feel. And it is the most empowering transformational experience that literally is a rite of passage that kind of births you into, it actually births you into the full expression that you're here to be. It births you into your purpose, your path, your message, your transformational story, whatever it is that you want to embody and live in the world. So whatever you're going through right now is actually essential. It's an essential step to, the whole staircase of your life. And the memory I had as I was walking down the beach, you can't see it right now, but the whole beach is behind you, you might hear it. I was remembering as I was walking down the beach that I had this very powerful experience one day where I was, and it's in my book, The Diamond Process as well, but I was running away from depression. I was trying to be the biggest, brightest light on the planet, and I was very successful at pretending and hiding and burying all of the pain that was inside of me. And when I came out here to Mendocino, I remember one day I was trying everything not to feel depressed. I literally was trying to eat the right foods, think the right thoughts, say the right affirmations, and I just couldn't escape the dark side of myself. And one day, I'll never forget, it was just like total grace that made this happen. I was getting in the shower and I was depressed, and I never would have used the word depressed to identify myself, to label myself, because I was terrified of that word. I thought if I ever used the word depression, it would actually keep me there. And if I ever admitted that I was depressed, I would be stuck there forever. That's what it felt like. So I kept trying to run from it, right? And what happened was one day I couldn't escape it. I just felt like such shabib, you guys. I felt like crap. I couldn't escape that. And one day it just really, I caved in, and I was getting in the shower and I was looking in the mirror right before jumping in the shower, feeling awful, like so bad. And it was like grace literally moved through me, and I was bare and just raw. And I looked in the mirror and I just said, I'm depressed. I'm depressed. And literally in that moment, it was like poof, this light went on. And it was like this open, there's no word, like this infinite vast space opened up for the part of me that was depressed. And it was like what I was rejecting in myself, this facet of myself. You guys hear me talk about we're diamonds and we have all these different facets. The depressed facet of me was finally given permission to exist. And my energy started surging through my body, and I just started weeping. I got in the shower. Before I got in the shower, actually, I remember saying to myself, you know what? I am going to get to know you, depression. I want to know everything about you. I am here. I am available. I have a blank journal. I'm going to fill it with everything depression wants to talk about. I'm going to give depression a voice. Powerful process. And I got in the shower and I just started crying very deeply. There was a deep, deep pain that was inside of me. And ironically, when I got out of the shower, it was gone. The depression was literally gone. In the shower, I had cried, and a big story was coming out about why I was depressed and why I should be depressed and what was lacking in my life and how alone I was and blah, blah, blah. And it's not blah, blah, blah. It was the real feeling of that depressed facet of me, and I gave it permission and I let the tears flow, and there was no longer resistance. What we resist persists. There was no longer resistance to the truth of that moment, which was depression. Basically, the depression dissolved in an instant, and I'm not saying this will happen every time or that the goal is not to get rid of depression, but what I am saying is that that experience changed my life, and it brought me into a healthy relationship with the depressed side of me. I haven't actually experienced depression since then, but what I can say is that when I feel sad, I have a vast space of compassion that I touched that day that is now accessible to me like a door I can open at any time to welcome whatever I'm feeling in. Compassion is the doorway to freedom. It's everything. And so whatever you're feeling right now is simply hungry for your own compassion, I promise you. And the question is, how can you be more loving, accepting, and compassionate for the parts of you that you really don't want, that you don't want to experience, whether it's anxiety, whether it's depression, grief, whether it's that you don't like the way your thighs look or the way your face looks or the way your voice sounds, whatever it is, can you court this part of you, this vast space, which is actually the true self, the diamond self, the truth of who you are, so that no matter what happens in your life, you can be at peace, clear, empowered, present, confident, regardless of outer circumstances and even regardless of the quality of your thoughts. Even if you're having a really critical mind of a day, you can still open up that door of compassion. So I want to share with you guys how to do that, a treasure tool that's really powerful. In my book, the sun is going down, it's so pretty. In my book, The Diamond Process, I talk about in step 4, it's a 7-step process. It's a journey, really, but and the 4th step is called medicinal dialogue. So the treasure tool, which I never really thought about until when I was walking on the beach, instead of writing with the medicinal dialogue in the book and giving your feelings a voice or even speaking it in your meditation space, what I suggest is actually waking up in the morning and looking in the mirror and just saying the truth of that moment. I feel like shit. I hate the way I look. I'm excited. I'm going to breakfast with a friend. God, I have so many feelings and they're all conflicting. You know, whatever comes up in the moment, and just starting to master the ability to feel what you really feel in the moment and actually express that, not to some stranger or not to somebody who's not going to get you or not to someone who's going to judge you, but voice it out loud into the infinite space that is constantly holding you and your life. And ask, set the intention, invoke the power inside of you that is compassion embodied, that is spaciousness, love, acceptance. Those energies are what transform your life. It's not some pill, it's not some, makeover. Those things can work on the surface for a little while, but it comes down to who you are inside. So I share this with you because you can not only heal whatever you're going through right now, or help a friend heal with this if you want to share this video with them, but this very thing that you're going through, whatever challenging emotion, is actually awakening something else in you. There's a gift behind it. For me that day when I looked in the mirror and all I felt was just so depressed, and I hated it. I hated myself, you guys, for feeling depressed. And I was standing there naked, bare, and I just finally gave up. I finally gave up all the trying, all the light chasing, all of that. And I looked in the mirror and I just confessed. I fessed up and I rose up and I said, I'm depressed. The gift that came out of it was compassion. I had never had compassion for myself. Real, solid, unwavering compassion. Meaning not pity for myself. It's the opposite of that. It's a deep embrace, a love, an acceptance, a compassion. It means like a deep understanding of who I am as a soul and what I've endured, what I've gone through, and what it feels like to be human in all the trials and tribulations. That level of compassion that awakened in me, I wouldn't trade it for the world, because now as I walk through life, my life, I'm able to activate that compassion for, it was always easy with others, but for myself in any given moment. I just literally have it accessible. It is a gift that's awakened me now. And without the depression, I would have had no need to ever turn that light of compassion on. So as that, now you guys know why Kuan Yin is always in my in my trainings and in my, all of my work and stuff. You see her in the background as the statue often in the live work I do, like the Google Hangouts and stuff. That's why. It's just that constant reminder. So again, whatever you're going through, not only can you heal this, but this powerful practice, try it for 5 mornings in a row. Just wake up each morning, look in the mirror, and speak your truth. Speak the unspeakable without an agenda, without trying to fix yourself. Drop it completely. Can you give yourself permission not to be perfect, not to be the best, just to be you? Maybe even to be ordinary. When I started to embrace myself as ordinary, everything changed. I don't need to be special. I don't need to be a superstar anymore. And for my whole life, I just felt worthless if I wasn't the best, if I didn't look my best, if I didn't have the best personality, if I wasn't the most talented, the wealthiest, the whatever, most popular. There's so much more to you and to me than what we have been taught in our society. That's what all my videos are devoted to helping you not only remember your infinite nature, the truth, the power, the powerful presence that you are. You know it, you feel it, you always have known it. It's inside of you, it's here to birth into the world, it's your full potential. And to also help you express your purpose into the world, to help you express and find your voice, to be all that you are, because you're a gift. How amazing is that? And so I'm completing here with this gorgeous sunset. The sunset never, or the sun, never discriminates. It shines on everything. The weeds, the flowers. It doesn't coin one thing as good, one thing as bad. And in the same way, whether it's depression or joy, the whole of you is worthy of light and love, acceptance, compassion, all of it. So with that said, I love you guys. It is so good to be back. I've missed you all, and with all the love in my heart. I never knew I'd be back in this place I was so intensely in pain and depressed in. And I'm a brand new, whole, creative, empowered leader of love. And all of that was preparation. So trust your path. I love you guys, and mwah, may you feel the love and enjoy the treasure tool.